And here we are again, still serving the Valley, and I'm Roy Justice. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about junior achievement and everything we can cram into this little piece of program about junior achievement. Caitlin's been good at outlining some of the background. Caitlin Tungman, by the way, who is the district manager for junior achievement here in Eastern Iowa, Team Cedar Valley, rah, rah, rah. Let's get the other side of that. That is the side we hinted around a little bit at the beginning of the program. Steve Thorpe has joined us. Ordinarily, Steve would be occupying a desk and out on the road and talking all about Northwestern Mutual. Steve, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What we want you to bring to the program, if you would, is from the business person's perspective as far as junior achievement is concerned. You've had somewhat of a history with junior achievement going all the way back to your teenage years?
Correct.
Okay, explain that a little.
I grew up in Des Moines, and junior achievement was active in Des Moines, but it was operated differently than it is today, which is natural considering that was quite a few years ago.
Yes.
I started when I was 14.
Okay.
And anyway, at that point in time, high schoolers from the different high schools in Des Moines would come together to form a company, a junior achievement company.
Okay.
And then we had volunteers from different businesses, business corporations in Des Moines that volunteered to be the advisors. And as the advisors, they would assist us in doing the things that were necessary for running any business.
Sure.
And that was one, deciding who was going to be the people that were going to be managing it.
Right.
Officers, and then we had to sell stock in the company. So that was something we had to do to start out with in order to form the company. And then we had to make a decision as to what kind of product we were going to sell to people from the company that we were forming. And a number of those were things that didn't work out quite as well as we would have liked them to. For example, purchasing the right equipment in order to bend metal in order to produce something. One of the things we did was we sold trivets, which were something you'd put a hot plate on. Sure. Or a hot dish or yes. Something like that. But we used ceramic tile, just like 9x9 tiles, but then we had to form the metal thing that the tile would set into and put legs on it and everything else so that it would work. So we lost a lot of metal that way because obviously the tile didn't give much and
right.
The metal had to be right. But anyway, it was just an incredible opportunity. One, to meet a lot of kids from other high schools and work together, which always is an issue, especially in a larger town.
Sure.
And so anyway, I did that for I think 4 years, and then when I went on to college, I continued to do it in the summer. Working with junior achievement in Des Moines, so I did that. And then when I got to Waterloo, which I moved here in '63, it was not much later than that when junior achievement formed an operation here in Waterloo.
Okay.
And so I've been involved basically for over 50 years. So.
Wow, a little history there.
Right.
A little history. What's the most important component of junior achievement in your mind?
I think for the people that are involved in it, whether it's today the students in classes where they have volunteers again come in and help them look at how a product is made and how a company survives and what profits actually mean and why we have them and issues like that any business has to look at if they're going to be in business, but hopefully educating people that otherwise wouldn't have had that experience so that down the road when they become adults who are having a job and they're able to look at the things differently as to how their business that they're working for actually operates. So.
Now, think back a little bit, not too far, but a little bit. At age 14, 15, 16, out of school, into college, how do you think life has changed as far as the business world is concerned and the way today's young entrepreneurs are thinking about how to start a business? Is it just as scary?
I think to a certain extent. Obviously, the technology changes, and
Boy, is
30 or 40 years changed that dramatically. But still the same basic information is there.
And basic meaning?
Well, as far as, what you have to do to produce a product that's something that people will want to buy, and then promoting it so that, others will do that. And at the same time, looking at the expenses of running a business and making it so that it's still worthwhile to make that product and try to sell it to the buying public.
As a young man, 14, 15, 16 years old, how much of that stuck with Steve Thorpe?
I think quite a bit of it. I would have to say that even going back to before I started in Junior Achievement, I was carrying newspapers for the Des Moines Register and Tribune, 150 papers, and I had to have them delivered by 6 o'clock in the morning and also by 6 at night.
I see.
And so, I learned some of the issues that deal with running a business. And then at age 11, I actually got a loan from a bank in Des Moines to purchase a power lawnmower, and I was doing 10 to 15 lawns a week during the summer also, as well as carrying papers. So I'd learned a number of the basic issues that deal with running a business before I got into Junior Achievement. So.
Caitlin, we mentioned before we came back on the air some awards, some achievements that Steve Thorpe was entitled to over the past couple of years. Steve, do you remember what those awards were?
Not really.
Not really. No. See, I should have known that when I started. Do you remember what some of those awards were?
I know a few of them. I know in 2008, Steve was recognized as one of our laureates in the Business Hall of Fame, as well as I believe Northwestern Mutual does like kind of an employee maybe of the year or whoever stands out in the community. And I believe this is Northwestern Mutual, throughout the country. And
right.
Steve was recognized and was awarded a grant to give to the nonprofit of his choice. And it went to Junior Achievement. So
surprise.
Before my time. So I'm telling Steve he hopefully could get this award again.
Sure.
Do you catch yourself still being involved with Junior Achievement, recruiting students to get involved? And if
absolutely.
So, what's your big message?
I think the biggest thing is that at some point in time, one of the realities of the business world and life as we know it, and that is Junior Achievement in making these products and doing things like that, where kids were, running machines and doing things like that. All of a sudden, we're looking at the legal aspects of that, and somebody getting injured and things like that.
True.
And so, in about 1986, Dr. Gary Wajenke was the superintendent of schools in Waterloo, and he was involved in Junior Achievement also. But anyway, we were looking at how we might make a change to make this so that we maybe would have more people involved, more students, than we would in a small company that might have 10 or 15 kids in it. And also to move this, into the educational aspect of having it part of the education in our community. And so that's basically how a major change happened with Junior Achievement. And now, this last year, I don't know, Caitlin may have given you the statistics, but I think we served over 40,000 kids in Northeast Iowa that were taking different Junior Achievement courses based on their age and things like this, learning the basics of running a business. And
the team Cedar Valley, the area that is covered by what it is that you're doing, I think there's a map. Well, look at that. Magic happens. Those are the counties that you're involved in right now.
Yep. So we actually service 12 counties in eastern Iowa, and we actually do distance learning. So it's not in our direct footprint, but we had school districts like Clear Lake and a few other outlying communities that reached out to us and said, how do we get involved? How do we have Junior Achievement curriculum? So we call those our distance learning, and we do program those school districts as well.
Okay.
one of the things she
Steve.
didn't mention, though, when we're talking about distance,
Yes.
we also were doing Junior Achievement in Whitefish, Montana.
Hello?
Yeah. And quite frankly, I've been trying to get us to have a road trip, our board to go out there for a road trip, because there isn't any more beautiful place than being close to Glacier National Park and everything.
Oh, you got it.
But the real story behind this is that a business person who owns a business in Waterloo but likes living in Montana wanted his children to have the same opportunity he'd had when he was in junior achievement in Waterloo, Iowa. And so we started talking about this and figured it out, and so they're now, I don't know how many students they have, but I know that they've got a substantial program going in Whitefish now, tied together with what we've got here in Blackhawk County, so
Excellent.
it's kind of cool.
Terrific. There's got to be somebody out there right now saying, that all sounds kind of interesting. How do I get involved in something like that? Now, through the schools, that's kind of an automatic possibility?
Yep, so depending on the school district, we do offer K through 12 programming, but as I mentioned, as the school districts pay for the curriculum that aligns to their district, not every grade is offered. So depending on what school you're in, it might vary if you have 3rd grade through 8th grade. But if you don't have junior achievement in your school, whether you're a student listening, a parent listening, talk to your teachers. Teachers can talk to the curriculum advisors, talk with the superintendent, and we'd be happy to have a conversation of getting junior achievement into the classroom.
And school board members.
And school board members, yep.
Don't forget those school board
PTO,
members.
PTA.
I did 14 years in the Waterloo School
see.
Board, so it's important to have them behind what's going on also.
You bet. Okay, now, again, for contact information, remember that Facebook place? You're probably all familiar with that. You can go, you love likes.
Yes, we
Likes are
do.
good.
Please like Junior Achievement of Eastern Iowa.
And there's your contact information if you want further information about the JA here in Eastern Iowa. And note that phone number. There's somebody, a live person on the other end of
There
that
is
that actually
a
will
very
answer
kind,
the phone.
very kind person at the
Excellent.
other end.
Well, as always, we play Beat the Clock on our program every time we do one of these, and unfortunately, it's the clock that usually wins. It's time to say thanks to Steve and Caitlin for joining us, and you as well. Until our next opportunity unfolds, Roy Justice saying thanks for joining us as we continue to serve the Valley.
Our young people are not ready for the future. And the breadth of our challenges seems to grow with each passing day. Yet, we believe there's a way to get to the root of these growing issues, with our mission to inspire and prepare young people for success by fostering a belief in themselves and a sense of purpose to overcome life's challenges. Each day brings with it the obligation of financial decisions, choices that affect a person's career, and the security of his or her financial future. Choices that require a set of skills not always taught in schools. And as changes in society outpace our ability to adapt, a new attitude is beginning to prevail. No one can challenge their circumstances without a belief in themselves and a sense of purpose. JA can change I can't to I can through a scientifically proven approach by showing students how money, careers, and business ownership work with the help of volunteer role models and proven programs. A simple shift, a positive attitude armed with knowledge will plant the seeds to thrive in a changing world, giving young people a belief in themselves and the sense of purpose necessary to improve their lives and the lives of those around them. Junior Achievement. Empower the future.